So are you losing money without even realizing it? Ouch, right? It's a pretty painful question, and probably one that literally keeps you up at night staring at the ceiling, wondering where on earth the missing hours went. But for so many healthcare practices out there, the answer is an uncomfortable yes. Between hidden revenue leaks, rejected claims, and just this overwhelming administrative burden, it's incredibly easy for your hard-earned cash to just slip right through the cracks. I mean, you provide the care, but capturing the complete reimbursement, that's somehow getting harder every single day.
Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going to completely decode some absolutely crucial medical billing insights derived directly from top industry sources. We're looking at hard data from the SSI Group, compliance frameworks from Dunlap Bennett and Ludwig, and real-world operational strategies from MedSol and Operant Billing Solutions. We're going to build a comprehensive revenue protection pathway for your practice, so you can finally stop leaving money on the table.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. Number 1, the role of clearinghouses. 2, claim denial management strategies. 3, navigating 2026 HIPAA compliance. 4, therapy billing team extension. And 5, contacting Operant Billing Solutions.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the role of clearinghouses. Basically, this is your practice's ultimate quality filter.
So what exactly is a medical billing clearinghouse? Simply put, it's a HIPAA-compliant middleman. It receives your electronic claims, validates them against incredibly specific payer rules, and then only transmits clean claims for reimbursement. The real magic here is a process called claim scrubbing. Think of the clearinghouse like a digital bouncer at a club, or a heavy-duty filter catching missing data, invalid modifiers, and coding mistakes. In fact, this whole process typically stops 80 to 90% of avoidable errors dead in their tracks, way before they ever reach the insurance company. When we compare the old-school approach of direct billing to using a centralized clearinghouse, you guys, the difference is literally night and day. With direct billing, you're submitting to each payer separately through all their individual portals. There's zero pre-submission error checking. You're essentially flying completely blind, which leads to massive rework costs when claims inevitably get kicked back. On the flip side, using a clearinghouse gives you one single connection. It applies pre-submit error edits, catching mistakes before they ever become formal expensive denials. It replaces total chaos with a streamlined, standardized workflow.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the true, fully loaded math. A lot of folks assume, oh, keeping billing in-house is way cheaper. Actually, scratch that. Let's look at the real numbers. When you factor in just a single biller's salary, their benefits, payroll taxes, software, and clearinghouse fees, your in-house cost easily ranges from $60,000 to over $100,000 annually. But outsourcing to a comprehensive service, that drops your estimated total annual cost to somewhere between $12,000 and $50,000. It's a staggering financial difference, especially when you factor in the hidden costs of staff turnover.
And that financial reality leads us perfectly into Section 2, claim denial management strategies, and why stopping those leaks up front is your absolute best defense.
90%. Honestly, write that number down. It's incredibly important for 2 reasons. First, a 90% clean claim rate is the baseline target benchmark your practice should be hitting. But second, and this is the part that blows my mind, industry experts like Lori Brocado from the SSI Group estimate that roughly 90% of all denials are actually preventable. Seriously, that means the vast majority of the money you're waiting on right now is trapped by errors you could have fixed before the claim ever left your office.
So, visually, look at this. Across the industry, the average benchmark sits at 90% clean claims, with an initial denial rate of roughly 5 to 10%. Now, that 10% slice might look tiny on a chart, but rework is incredibly expensive. Industry data shows reworking a single denied claim costs between $25 and $118. If you've got hundreds of those a month, that small slice is a massive hemorrhage of your practice's revenue. We absolutely have to close that gap.
Okay, so how do we close it? Here are 4 rapid-fire front-end denial prevention strategies. Step 1, check eligibility right before billing because, coverage changes fast. Step 2, utilize coverage discovery tools to actively hunt down active patient coverage. Step 3, apply a robust edits library in your software to prevent those pesky soft denials caused by missing data. And Step 4, relentlessly track timely filing deadlines to avoid what the industry calls never denials. That's money you literally lose forever just because you missed a date on a calendar. But hey, protecting revenue isn't just about billing. It's also about staying out of trouble and avoiding catastrophic fines. That brings us to Section 3, navigating 2026 HIPAA compliance and those fast-approaching deadlines. Let's move to and see how this builds. Because this looming threat has a very urgent timeline.
In early 2025, the Department of Health and Human Services proposed massive updates to security definitions. By early 2026, the final rule implementation is expected to drop. And from 2026 onward, enforcement of these incredibly strict new mandates will become the everyday reality for every covered entity and business associate in healthcare. Make no mistake, these aren't just minor little tweaks. We're talking about a massive paradigm shift, carrying an estimated $9 billion industry cost in the first year alone. The 2026 mandates will demand strict multi-factor authentication, continuous asset inventory, and automated audit logging. But the biggest shockwave? A push toward a 24-hour high-risk breach notification window, down from the usual 60 days. If you don't have your infrastructure totally locked down with encryption and incident playbooks ready to go right now, 2026 is going to be a very expensive wake-up call.
I love how Craig Besnoy, a partner at Dunlap Bennett and Ludwig, perfectly summarizes this. He says, HIPAA compliance is a program, not a project. It requires continuous risk assessment, layered safeguards, and relentless workforce training. You can't just check a box once a year anymore and call it good. Your practice needs a living, breathing shield to protect your patient data and your bottom line.
Honestly, balancing that kind of intense compliance with relentless denial management, it's just too much for most clinical teams. That's exactly why we arrive at Section 4, Therapy Billing Team Extension, and how to finally release some of that administrative pressure. And this brilliantly illustrates the real solution here. To survive all this, you don't just need another random vendor. You need a true partner acting as a seamless extension of your team. This is where a specialized B2B partner like Operant Billing Solutions completely changes the game. They step in to handle all the heavy lifting of revenue cycle management so you can actually get back to doing what you do best, focusing on your patients.
Operant Billing Solutions supports a really massive variety of practitioners. We're talking ABA therapists, counselors, physical therapists, SLPs, psychologists, and even dentists. But what makes them so highly effective is that their expertise isn't just theoretical textbook stuff. It comes directly from over 20 years of hands-on experience running a highly successful autism therapy clinic themselves. They've been in the trenches. They know exactly what it takes to navigate the whole maze of complex payer rules and specialized modifiers.
So the crucial point is this. Working with Operant means you get a zero migration setup. What does that mean for you? It means no ripping and replacing your expensive software. It means no ripping your hair out trying to train your staff on a new platform. Operant works directly inside your existing EMR software. They assign you a dedicated single point of contact billing manager. No bouncing around frustrating call centers, just a direct line to an expert who is actively fighting for every single dollar you are entitled to. Which brings us to our final step, Section 5. It is time to secure your revenue. If you want to experience firsthand what an $80 million plus revenue recovery track record looks like, it's time to take action. You can get a free, totally no-obligation consultation and a revenue audit by calling Ralph directly over at Operant Billing Solutions. His number is 253-328-4597. Go ahead, take a second and write that down, 253-328-4597. Let them look under the hood of your revenue cycle and show you exactly where the leaks are. I want to leave you with this final, really important thought. Is it time to stop chasing claims, fighting endless denials, and stressing out over 2026 compliance, and instead finally start growing your practice? The data shows the revenue is there. You just need the right partner to capture it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Protect your revenue, and I'll catch you next time.